Ever been told, "Can I be honest with you?" and your whole chest tightens up like you're about to be ambushed? Or worse, someone sends you a long message or performance review and you reread it 10 times, dissecting every word like a code you're supposed to solve? You're not alone. We've been trained to give feedback, but no one ever taught us how to receive it without crumbling, shrinking, or spiraling into self-doubt. So today, we're going to change that. We're diving deep into how to receive feedback, real feedback, digital feedback, gaslighting disguised as feedback, and even silence as feedback without falling apart. Because your ability to grow, lead, and evolve, it's directly tied to how well you handle this one skill. Chapter 1: AI Feedback versus Human Emotion. Let's start where it gets a little weird, but real. What happens when a bot gives you feedback versus a human? We've all used tools like Grammarly or ChatGPT, right? They're fast, they're objective, they don't come with tone, attitude, or hidden meaning. If you mess up a sentence, it's just a suggestion. You could say it this way. But when a human says, "You should have said that differently," our body reacts. Why? Because AI feedback targets the work. Human feedback targets the ego. One is an edit. The other, a perceived judgment. AI doesn't trigger your nervous system. A supervisor's email might. A parent's "I'm just being honest" definitely will. That's why we sometimes prefer digital correction over face-to-face feedback. Let's test your radar. I'm going to say 3 things. You tell me, is it real feedback or manipulation? Number 1. I'm only telling you this because no one else has the guts to. Number 2. You were great, but next time, try slowing down your delivery a bit. Number 3. Wow, you just made that super awkward. Again. Here's the answer. Number 2 is feedback. It's specific, actionable, respectful. 1 and 3, that's emotional distortion. You have the right to ask, is this meant to grow me or guilt me? Learn to decode it. Your peace depends on it. There's no risk of shame, but that also means we don't always grow emotionally. Feedback is more than correction. It's a mirror. Chapter 2: Feedback versus Gaslighting. Let's break this down, because not everything that sounds like feedback is actually meant to help you grow. Some of it is control, some of it is ego, and some of it is gaslighting. Here's how to tell the difference. Real feedback focuses on improvement. It's designed to help you get better at something, whether that's how you communicate, how you show up, or how you lead. But gaslighting, it focuses on control. The goal isn't to make you better, it's to make you doubt yourself. Real feedback is specific and tied to your behavior, something you did or said. Gaslighting, on the other hand, is vague. It targets your character. Instead of "that presentation ran long," you'll hear "you're always so unprepared." See the difference? Feedback is actionable. It gives you a next step. Try opening with a summary next time. Gaslighting leaves you confused, spiraling, or disoriented, like you're trying to solve a riddle you were never given the answer to. Real feedback invites dialogue. It sounds like, "How do you feel about that? Want to talk through it?" Gaslighting, it shuts down discussion. It sounds like, "You're too sensitive," or "I'm done talking about this." Finally, feedback comes from a place of care, honesty, or growth. Even when it's hard to hear, you know it's rooted in wanting the best for you. But gaslighting comes from insecurity or a need to dominate. It's not about your success, it's about their control. So next time you receive feedback, ask yourself, is this here to grow me, or is it here to shrink me? That one question can protect your power, your peace, and your future. Example: I think you missed the mark in how you communicated in that meeting. Next time, try summarizing before opening it to questions. That's feedback. But you always make things so awkward. Are you sure you're even good at this? That's psychological warfare. Feedback builds, gaslighting erodes. Know the difference and protect your peace accordingly. Let me speak to you as your inner voice for a second. Don't worry, I'm not judging. I'm just saying what's already in your head when someone gives you feedback. You're too loud. They're tired of you. See, you're not leadership material after all. They don't respect you. They never did. Why do you even try? Sound familiar? Here's the truth. That's not feedback. That's fear. That's not them talking. That's an old wound replaying its greatest hits. Chapter 3: How to Ask for Better Feedback. Here's a plot twist. Sometimes the feedback we get sucks because we never taught people how to give it to us. You don't have to settle for vague, useless feedback like, "Good job. Keep it up. That could have been better." Here's how to ask for better feedback without sounding needy or insecure. Use this simple script. "Hey, I'm working on growing in, fill in the blank. What's one thing I could improve that would make the biggest impact?" This focuses their attention. It shows emotional maturity, and it invites feedback as collaboration, not correction. You don't have to be afraid of feedback. When you ask for it with intention, you stay in control of your growth. Okay, let's pause for a moment. Let's not just talk about feedback. Let's practice receiving it right now. I'm going to say something to you. It's feedback, not praise, not criticism, just feedback. And I want you to notice what happens in your body, in your breath, and in your thoughts. Hey, I wanted to share something with you. I've noticed that in group conversations, you tend to cut people off mid-sentence, even when you're really passionate. I know it's not intentional, but I think if you slowed down just a little and left space after others speak, your voice would actually carry more impact. You've got great insight. Let's help others hear it better. Pause. Just sit with that for a second. Did you tense up? Did you get defensive? Did you start justifying it in your mind? Let's reflect. Number 1. I don't do that. Do I? Equals doubt or denial. Number 2. Wow, that hurt a little, but she's not wrong. Equals growth mindset, but tender. Number 3. Who does she think she is to say that to me? Equals ego flares up. Number 4. That's actually helpful. I'm going to try that next time. Equals receptive and ready. There's no right or wrong here. There's just awareness. The goal isn't to be perfect at receiving feedback. The goal is to be present enough to catch your default reaction so you can choose a better one next time. Want a challenge? Replay that scene. But this time, breathe slower. Put your hand on your chest and ask yourself, what is this trying to grow in me? See, feedback isn't just about correction, it's about expansion. Chapter 4: When silence is the feedback. Sometimes people don't say anything at all. And that silence, that is feedback too. The invitation you didn't get, the promotion that passed you by, the friend who fell off, the partner who stopped listening, the parent who gave no reaction at all. Silence isn't always punishment, but it's almost always information. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this silence? Is this an opportunity to self-correct, or is this a boundary being revealed? Silence gives you the space to reflect. Don't fill it with noise or fear. Fill it with clarity. Okay, let's play this out together. You just got this feedback from a peer at work. Honestly, you kind of dominate the meeting. People feel like they can't get a word in. Now, which response feels most like you? A. That's ridiculous. I'm just confident. B. Wow, I'm such a bad leader. C. Thanks for the honesty. How can I open space more intentionally next time? Pause. Now replay that moment, but this time, pick the response that honors your growth, not just your comfort. Drop your choice in the comments. No shame, just self-awareness. Chapter 5: A Story That Changed Everything. I want to tell you a story, one I didn't fully understand until years later. In my early 20s, I gave a big presentation for a leadership group. I thought I crushed it. The energy was right, the slides were clean, and I was proud of my delivery. Afterward, one of the senior advisors pulled me aside and said, "You're brilliant, but you try too hard to prove it. Let your intelligence breathe." I was stunned. In the moment, I was offended. It felt like she was saying I was too much. I left that day doubting everything about myself, my voice, my presence, my worth. But years later, I realized she wasn't dimming my light. She was handing me a mirror. She was saying, "You don't need to convince us. Just be." That piece of feedback? It became one of the pillars of the 2 a.m. code, because receiving it didn't feel good at the time, but it gave me everything I needed to evolve. Let's build something together right now, a feedback wall. I want to hear from you. What's the most unforgettable piece of feedback you've ever received? Drop it in the comments. Tell us what it was and what it taught you. Whether it made you cry, change, spiral, or rise, we want to hear it. You never know who's going to read your story and realize they're not alone. Feedback isn't failure, it's fuel, but only if you know how to receive it and decode it. Whether it comes from a human, a bot, a silence, or even your own reflection. Learn to take what serves you and leave what doesn't. And remember, you're not defined by feedback. You're refined by it. If this helped you reframe feedback in your own life, let me know in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's navigating growth right now. And if you want to go deeper into reclaiming your voice, your boundaries, and your power, grab a copy of my book, The 2 a.m. Code. Available wherever books and audiobooks are sold. See you next time, fam, and don't just listen, rise. Yes, I'm back. Let's reset the energy before I let you go with your own voice. I want you to say this out loud, even if it feels awkward. Feedback is not an attack, it's an invitation. I receive it with grace and filter it with wisdom. Again, this time, own it. I receive feedback with grace and filter it with wisdom. That's your power. That's your boundary. That's your birthright.